Alright. Rolling into battle with the Su-85. This is the Tier 2 Russian medium tank destroyer. The original impetus I had for buying this tank was a game I played of capture and hold tanks just like this, and playing as the Soviets and getting spawn camped in the left-hand side. I was running my T-34-76, and there's a bunch of Pershings, M36, Jacksons, all that shit, stacked up on the top of the hill shooting down at us. And what I really wanted was something with good firepower and a very short respawn time. So that in those kind of close-range clusterfucks, you can just deal a lot of damage until you die, and then you can quickly get back in the fight after you die. So, you know, not the T-34-85 with its crippling respawn time. And at the time, I'd just hit Armor Assault 8, and, you know, also this is probably the best option for a Soviet medium tank destroyer. It's like, come on, Su-76 is the same thing, but, you know, slower, weaker armored, worse gun, and the respawn on that is barely any faster. So, this seemed like a bit of a no-brainer choice for me, and so far I've been pretty pleased with it. The only problem is, if you look in my top right corner at the moment, I've been put in a server that's on fucking Mars. Oh, no, wait. There, it's gotten better again. We're down to 40 milliseconds ping. And when you're on low latency, it's fine, but when you're on high latency at long range, and especially if you're on angle or shit, what could happen is, like, if this makes sense, the way that the tank compensates for range is it moves, like, the reticle up and down. But if you're on, like, an angle, like, you're gonna see, if I park the tank on an angle like this, what happens is it kind of adjusts for range diagonally. And so for really long range shooting, you want to have your tank the right way up, because otherwise the range adjustments, they're also going to move your shots sideways, not just up and down, and that's a really bad thing. Is that, oh, my teammate here is in trouble. I can see that Stuart is shooting at him from up and to the left, so I'm going to try and give him a hand. And then I'll resume my boring monologue on take that. I should probably be using AP for this. The enemy population at the moment is just a couple of light tankers, so I definitely don't need the expensive armor-piercing ammo for this 85mm cannon. I think it's going to go right through them and out the other side anyway. But yeah, as I was saying, this gets really egregious on high latency, because what happens is if you shoot at long range and you're kind of incorrectly compensating for distance. Like, so we're on a bit of an angle here, and if I maybe adjust for range and shoot for that corner there, well, at longer distance you'll see that actually arcs a bit to the side. So if I look over there, that does demonstrate it very well because I'm not on a fairly flat angle. But the point is that, let me take this out this guy's track so he can't run away. Because I'm always going to win this head-on fight here, so I kind of just want to keep him from running away. And that way I get a confirmed kill, basically. And taking out his tracks is a really good, easy, reliable way to do that. I wonder if his mate's trying to sneak around and get a kill on me. While I'm repairing. But anyway. On low latency, you don't have too much trouble with this, because after your first shot misses, you can kind of see where the tracer goes. And you can follow it and get your aim on. But if you are shooting on an extreme angle and you're on high latency and shit, what happens is this really weird effect. I can't demonstrate it here because I'm actually, you know, connected to the internet. But what happens is your tracer starts jumping around in midair, and that is really horrible when you're trying to correct your aim, because you can't actually see where your last shot went. So Just going to keep my eyes out for that Stuart coming down a similar path to last time. So I bet he will. And so yeah, overall, just try and keep yourself on a fairly flat up and down angle, like you don't want to be rolled over side to side. Another consideration with the Su-85, you've got to be really careful when you're crossing a hill like this, is because the gun can't aim very far down. Like, you see, this is as low down as the gun will go. So, you generally want to have your tank facing downhill a little bit, because otherwise enemy tanks can actually go underneath your gun if you're facing uphill and they're, like, kind of further down beneath you, if that makes sense. So, that's quite common on lots of Russian tanks, actually. Like, the T-34s have that as well. And that might be a consideration if you play a lot of German or American tanks, is try and get beneath them, and you may be able to kind of avoid some of that gunfire. I've got to be pretty careful here, because with the fixed gun on this tank destroyer, if that Stuart is really smart, what he'll do is try and ram me on the side, and then he can kind of pin me in close quarters, so I'm just going to have to keep my eyes open for him. Another trick I might show you guys here while I am just busy looking for trouble is if you like hold your control like this to get into a cover position, and then you get out of your tank, you see these hatches here actually kind of remain closed, and so when you get into your tank you're already in the cover position. So that's a really good trick to use if you're like kind of repairing and you're under machine gun fire or something, and you want to avoid getting shot out of your tank, is you can hit the like control to get into cover before you leave, and then you'll be immediately in cover again when you leave, when you get back into the tank. So it's a bloody good technique. If you're playing against an Su-85, I probably shouldn't be giving you this advice, because I use the Su-85 quite a bit, but if you're using your American or German tanker and you're up against an Su-85, you see this ball around the gun here, the mantlet? That is the strongest point of armor on the Su-85. It's actually really thick. It's so strong that it can actually absorb direct hits from like Tiger 1 APCR and shit. It's some of the strongest armor in the game, which is weird, but it's very resistant. So if you are in a head-on fight with an Su-85, try and aim at any of the like flat area, not at the round area, because the round area is really thick. So yeah, that, or against these Su-85s, you want to avoid shooting the gun mantlet, which also means you can't cripple the gun breech, which kind of sucks, but I don't know, I guess that's just an advantage of the tank, really. It's not something you can do anything about playing against it. And failing that, you kind of want to ram it on the side is a great way to deal with any of these tank destroyers that can only fire forwards. Brief tangent, just because it's convenient. Try and cross obstacles like low walls and stuff on a diagonal in a tank instead of hitting them head on, because that way kind of your track gets exposed to it rather than your front hull and shit, and it makes it a lot easier to scale them. And it's a bit counterintuitive, but it works really well. So always hit that stuff on an angle. It'll do much better for you. I bet that Stuart is in that town somewhere, and hopefully over here I might be able to get a good angle on him. I kind of want to stay well clear of that enemy infantry spawn, you see, because their rocket launchers can make pretty short work of my tank here. There you are. Is he getting out of his tank? The bloody lamppost is in the way, I can't kill him. I want to snipe that little tanker if he pokes his head out again. Ah, hit the tree! Never mind. I bet I can intercept that Stuart, because he will come around here, flanking, looking for revenge from his left-hand spawn over here. And I'm going to be lying in wait to brutally murderize him. Or, you know, he could always do the smart thing and just go off on his own to the other side of the map and avoid me and try and get infantry kills would be what he would do if he wanted to win the game. But people don't like to win the game. They like to get revenge. And you know what I was talking about with the light gun depression? This is how you play it as the Su-85 or as T-34 or stuff. Anything that can't angle their gun far down, is you point your tank downhill like this, and then your gun can elevate a long way up, so you can aim high up, or you can aim low down. This is how you take advantage of it. I'm not seeing hide nor hair of that Stuart. I would have seen him by now if he'd come this way, so I'm going to relocate. I bet I might see him on the long line of sight that you get over here, across the whole valley. And I mean, you know, if he waited a minute just to bloody... Nah, he's back in the town again somewhere, so... Because I can see him in the kill feed, he's shooting the bots. Let's see how good my projectile aim is. Oh, that went right through him, come on! There we go. I don't recommend this, by the way. Get yourself some HE instead. But you see, these Su-85, none of the Russian tank destroyers have machine guns. So, until you get yourself some high explosive, all you can do is really snipe infantry with the giant frickin' 85mm armor-piercing shell. Getting onto some more of them now. Now, where is that Stuart? He hasn't died again, has he? Oh, yeah, my teammate killed him. There is an M2A2. Come on, come out again. While I'm watching that guy, I really don't want to get crept up on by that Stuart. He's a much bigger threat. Ah, come on! I should have been facing that way. I'm not going to have time to make this shot. Got him! Didn't take his tracks out, though, so he was able to get away. Damn it. When you see those light tanks zipping along really quick, if you can hit the tracks on them, it often causes them to spin out and even come back the way they came. So when you're like that and you're in a bigger tank and you're trying to nail a light tank off in the distance who's about to get into cover, always go for the tracks because it makes them spin out and it often gives you a chance for another shot. And if you take out their tracks and that engine or transmission or something, then their mobility basically goes to nothing. So if I had his tracks there, he could have been in some real trouble. But as it is, I'm just going to maneuver around and see if I can get an angle on him. Ooh, my teammate in the T-34 has gone down. And I'm having a lot of lag at the moment. You can see from my ping in the top right. I bet I'll see that Stuart down here. There you are. There we go. Oh, didn't even need to go for the tracks, he was on such low health. But, yeah. That was the, I was hoping I'd get a chance to demonstrate that there, basically, and I would, because he was trying to turn to get away, and so I was trying to aim for his tracks to cripple them, and that way he can't escape. So it's an easy kill there. I like to keep track of my enemies using the scoreboard all the time. It's a good trick that I think not enough people take advantage of, especially by clicking on them. You can see what vehicles they're spawning. Like, obviously, the M5A1 and the M2A2. These are both very light tanks. I'd be playing this game very differently if I saw they had a Pershing or something. Because then I'd be off on all the flank angles and just trying to avoid being spotted and hopefully work out their position and flank them, get some good hits in. He really loves that road, doesn't he? Ah, damn it, that was These bloody trees blocking all my shots. I need to deforest this place. Right, I'm expecting to see him in town, so gotta stay scoped up. How did that not kill him? I want to be really conscious of that Stuart trying to flank me or something. But I also want to be conscious of him appearing in front of me. Haha. Gotcha. This is a bit of a tricky angle and I really want to get in there because otherwise... Ah, damn it, he's dead. Oh, I guess this gives me a chance to repair. My T-34 teammate really needs to get in here. If I ever die this game, I'll get myself a my T-34 out, because that'll be a much better way to deal with these infantry. What's the bet that Stuart's going to come down the same way he has every other time? Straight down that road. I really bet he will. It's all about how stupid you think your opponent actually is. I see you there. Trying to hide in that frickin' bush. That was pretty trivial. Yeah, the Su-85 isn't the best armoured, but its gun outclasses any of the other medium tank destroyers. And it's got a lot more health than the Stug. Overall, I feel sorry for the Stug. It used to be really good way back in the day, but now it's just sad. Look how they murdered my boy. I think the main thing is just in the Armour 2.0 rework of a couple of years ago, they just gave the Stug far too little health, and because of that it kind of got to the point where it lost to like the Hellcat in a head-on fight, and then it was also like slower and couldn't turn its gun around and didn't have full traverse on its machine gun, and it was just kind of the most tragically underpowered tank. This Stuart keeps coming back to the same places. I can't even frickin' see him. Aim higher. There we go, that's his tracks. He's not even on the ground. He's floating. I might actually head over there and see if I can hit him a bit closer to his spawn. Or, I could try and snipe some infantry. I could always, like, you know, not be an asshole and spawn camp him. Yeah, I think maybe I need to somehow contest the objective. These AI are really frickin' dangerous on this game mode because they're all carrying rocket launchers. And they can see you through the frickin' bushes. I don't blame them for not wanting to get close, but we don't really have a better option at the moment. I really just need to get out of here a bit. Oh, now the bloomin' steward is there. Oh well, I'm hardly missing any health. I'll be fine. Can I snipe that little bit? Looks like I won't need to. Ah, the lamppost! That was some pretty aggressive positioning from him. He certainly had the balls, but I don't think he had the guns, or the armor, or the anything. It's sad. The M280 is actually, honestly, in my opinion, a pretty alright for a starter tank. It's fast, and it's got the biggest gun. Like, I don't know if people realize this when they're at the level when they're actually using these things, but the other two tanks armed with like 30 cal, roughly, machine guns. And what the M280's got is, in its driver's seat turret, it's got a 50 cal. And that makes it do far more damage and penetrate a lot more armor than the other two starter tanks do. That being the Panzer I and the T-38 amphibious tank. Come on, man, I'm killing as many as I can here. Oh god, I'm out of AP.